Community Assets Committee meeting, going to, I think we're up to Article 4. That's our report update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The purpose of this report is, as stated in the report, essentially to provide the Council with updates that have occurred since the issue was last reported to Council. Under their issues, I've just provided a brief pocket summary of what has occurred. And I guess really, as I said, the purpose was to bring everyone up to speed. I'm not expecting to communicate anything at this stage, but I'm happy to take any questions.
Yeah, I've got a question. In your email back to Mr. Simpson on 7th of October, as part of the attachment we've got there, the Council had sought a decision from CAA as to whether your or Council staff's interpretation of the rules as they relate to the shielding of Tokoroa Airport from the Tokoroa Hospital Airport of Shelterville is or are correct. Now, at the time of writing the letter, you had no definite response from them. Have we had a response in the month since?
We've had a partial response that doesn't give us a clear indication. Mr. Simpson's asked for all of that information under the Official Information Act, so he's got copies, or we'll be getting copies of all of the correspondence.
When you say it's not going on, and I fully appreciate the work that's gone into this, Mr. Henderson, and Mike McDonald's report is quite plain, but it would have been nice to have seen what CAA did have to say as part of this, to give us a fuller picture. So if we could get a copy of that, just for our perusal, would be appreciated. Thanks.
So, with that, Councillor Munchie, you asking whether the trees deemed to be make a shielded environment was
in relation to the airport, the hospital airport, I should say. Yes, that was where we, I think, point we got to 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, we were discussing it, was trying to get a definitive answer. There was a lot of he said, she said. And CAA New Zealand, of course, is the ultimate authority. It would certainly be good to have their answer one way or the other, and I just can't understand why they couldn't give it to us. I don't think this, if I can continue, Mr. Chairman, that's right. I don't think this is going to go away. Mr. Simpson is a bit of an old dog. I don't know if he's still here. I have had a talk with him, and I certainly disagree sometimes with the way he approaches things, and I know he has put us to considerable efforts. But there are still germs of good ideas within his proposals. I can see that Council often alternatives to him which he hasn't wished to take up, and I still think he should consider them, but we also need to continue to keep looking at that airport operation to try and improve it in some way or another. That's all I'll say on it at this point. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for the report?
Michael's know nothing about this and the history of it, but it was an allegation taken this morning in the public forum around the significant drop-off in the use of the airport by commercial or people landing following the implementation of landing fees. My question is that what is the situation around that? Is that true? What are the numbers? We must have some way of, because I'd be interested in knowing if that was true. If it is true, then I think it's a relevant factor in the discussion. Do we know those numbers?
Yeah, we can provide, thank you through this, we can provide numbers from a report we provided Council a couple of years ago. Council determined at that point they wanted to keep the facility as a multi-use facility because it's not only it's an airfield obviously, but it does cater for drivers' training schools. It has the drags out there occasionally. There's the model aircraft club that use it, both the local one plus jet models that come regularly. We have the other facilities on the precinct as well, the modified go-karts and so on. So it's quite a convoluted picture. In terms of commercially it breaks even, certainly in terms of private plane numbers, they appear to have dropped. We don't record them, so Mr. Simpson tends to inform me, but we believe they have dropped. We know that some local pilots have preferred to go to other local airfields to use those because of a number of different reasons. We have also, in recent times, the last 12 months or thereabouts, agreed with CTC, which is the pilot training school out of Hamilton, a fee for them to use the facility whenever they come in. It's more than what we were getting. Would we like more? Yes, we would, but it was a fee that was sort of agreed at the time. So that gives you a bit of an overview. We can certainly pull that initial report out. I think one thing I would say though, around the, it is part of the what I would say is that that facility is a facility that does offer potential. Mr. Marshall and I drove around with the Swift guys yesterday and had a look at the facility. So their eyes looked up to a degree, and you can see sort of the cogs. So I think it's something that has been identified, won't go away, but I think it's a bigger picture discussion and review around what that opportunity is, or what it presents.
I was just going to add on to that. There were fees and charges that required people to come in and make payment here at the council offices, which wasn't a really pragmatic way of doing that. So the landing fees had been put in place, and I think it was actually as a result of a submission from Mr. Simpson himself that we put an honesty box up there, and that has received a reasonable amount of money, much more than we were getting in the past. I'm not aware of how much we've currently taken, but as Mr. Hobbs has mentioned, we get a monthly payment from our town club, so that's over and above that, plus a number of people rent hangars with the expectations of being able to use an airfield. Not all of them have that right, but if we remove the rights of an airfield away from them, they would probably have a discussion about the devaluation of their lease.
Yeah, just a question. On page 29, there is that's our income and expenditure, and we're looking at the whole area here. If we're just looking at the airport area with the hangars itself, this is in the attachment, and I look at it specifically for the hangars in the airport. What's the total income and expenditure? Is it? See, we've got here income. We're looking at the motorcycle club lease and the Waikato racing club lease and street riders. That's and the kart club. That's actually separate from the runway itself. Correct. And the surrounding. So just the airport, how much is that costing us a year to maintain and to upkeep? Notwithstanding, we've actually put off resealing the runway, which was going to cost us a couple of $100,000 to do. We're delaying that. And what is the cost to ratepayers that it is actually costing us?
Those would be in.
Where am I? I'd have to do some.
No, those are actually in the financial reports that were reported by Mr. Smith.
Right.
It gives the income and costs of those.
I'm sorry, I should have done this earlier.
So there is. I can get that information, but that information is not available.
Because somewhere when I was reading this, I saw that the goal of the airport too was actually to make it become financially viable, and I agree it is being used less and less and less. And I did go out just the other day and had a look, and it isn't looking very flash, to be honest, at the moment. And we all know, we know that. So if we can get more use of it, and that's why we did the strategic plan back in 2008-9, but we haven't implemented a lot of that, or it hasn't been taken up. And I guess we have to look at future and the future uses. And if we look at drones, but particularly I'm just using drones, they are a thing of the future. They are. People are using them with business and for play, recreation, and all of that. So we actually, it's just like us and our mobile phones and our computers and our laptops around here. We actually do have to move with the times. Now, whether that means that we've got to delist the airport or not, I don't think that it does. I'm not sure. But I don't think we just cut it out because of that.
Your worship, you make some good points there, but I just remind your worship that there is actually a model flying club that fly at the airport, and that people can come and so that covers drones as well. So that ability is available for anyone to do that. Because it's on a listed airport, needs to be undertaken according to CAA guidelines. And so that is really, and it is our view that even if we delist the airport, the authorisation from the airport would still apply, because we don't think it's a
So
shared
the
environment.
only thing that Mr Simpson is asking us to delist the airport is so that people with drones, or is it don't have to have wings to fly their drones.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
But you can still do it there, but you've got to have another person with wings, which perhaps is onerous.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I wonder if you
Yeah.
So what's involved in getting the wings?
Okay, wings is a CA recognised qualification that requires that you prove your knowledge and ability to fly a craft. Typically it takes someone who's starting in the hobby maybe 3 to 5 months to get there. The wings are CA's way of ensuring that they're going to have responsible people flying in areas of supposedly high risk. Now the thing is that if we want to use our airfield to attract tourists, to the town, then we need to be able to offer them the ability to fly without having to have someone supervising them. For example, if I'm out there and half a dozen people turn up from the USA and want to fly models, well they can't because they don't have wings. And you can't just say, oh, fill out a form, here's my wings. You've got to actually prove it and go through a test. So that makes it impossible to sort of just say, well, people should have wings to fly drones because they can't do it. Also, even in the town here, we've got a low-income town. Most of the people in this town, they might be able to afford to buy a $29 helicopter for their child, but the cost of getting wings means joining a club for $80 and spending 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 months learning to fly that, then sitting the exam. So it kind of discriminates against the low-income structure of this town. We do have a club. The club is growing in strength and numbers, but the big thing is the potential of this airfield is not in the local club. It's in the people from around the world who want to come here. They've seen the airfield on YouTube 1.5 million times a month. The airfield is seen on YouTube through my videos, and they want to come here because it's something they've seen, and they do come here. I want to enable us to give them the opportunity to get on a plane, land at Auckland Airport, drive down here, book into a motel, come out to the airfield, grab a model, because I have a great number of models. I review them that's my job, I review models. I have heaps of models sitting there, which I gladly donate to the cause. So they don't have to bring a model or anything else. They can get off as they come out to the airfield, grab a model, be shown the basic rules and requirements to fly at the airfield, so we make sure they know what they're doing. Then they can go and fly with one person supervising maybe a dozen people, just to make sure they're doing it properly. Can't do that legally as long as the airfield is listed, but we can do it if it's delisted. Mr. Anderson talks about the effect of the heliport. I've spoken to CAA. They agree that the shielded operation is provided not by the shelter trees, but by the Aero Club rooms. And in fact, when we're racing drones, the very gates they fly under, because all you have to do is remain below the level of the tallest natural or man-made structure within 100 metres to qualify as a shielded operation. There must also be a barrier between where you're flying and the airfield concerned. Now, the helipad at the hospital has trees around it. That is the barrier. The wind, the noise break trees, irrelevant, because there's also trees at Strathmore. There's a whole lot of trees between the airfield and the helipad. So it meets all the criteria for a shielded operation if we delist it. Which means these people can come. They can stay in the town, they can spend money in the shops, they can enjoy themselves, and they'll tell their friends, and they'll come as well. It's simple as that.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Just to clarify that, you're saying that the trees at the heliport would deem to be a shield if you were flying at the airport?
No, the trees are the barrier. There's 2 parts to a shielded operation. You must have the shield, which is any object within 100 metres of where you're flying. You must remain lower than that object and within 100 metres of it. So in some places the control tower of the airfield provides the shielding. In other places the Aero Club rooms, because we fly drones down on the car park below the Aero Club rooms. We can when we can mow the grass. And that means that the club rooms are quite elevated compared to the drone track. So you can fly your drone 4, 5, 6 metres in the air and still be qualifying as a shielded operation. The reality is the drones race under gates which are about 2 metres high, so they really exceed 3 metres. So we can always operate those in a shielded operation. Drone racing is a very, very big sport now. It's sponsored by Mountain Dew and Budweiser in America. It's covered by CNN, ESPN, Sky News in the UK. All these companies are covering it. It's really big news. The drone racing champions wanted to come out here for the same reason other people do, because they've seen our airfield, they've seen, well, they watch my videos, they really want to come out and say, "Hey, we put on some demonstration flights." It would be kind of ludicrous if we had perhaps half a dozen of the world's best drone racers there, who all had to be supervised by myself, Barry, who works at the Achievement Centre, and a few others. It kind of makes it a bit of a farcical situation. And the other thing is, the delisting doesn't disadvantage anybody. It's not like it's taking the airfield away. Look at the equation. What do we gain from delisting? Well, we gain the ability to turn our airfield into a global tourist attraction. If we delist it, what do we lose? Well, CTC probably won't come anymore, but they're paying $500 a month. I offered to pay twice that. And what else do we lose? Nothing. All the Aero Club planes, or the few Aero Club planes that are left, they can still use the airfield. It's a private airfield. The costs do not go up, because what happens is we can still issue no terms for the airfield, and because it's a private airfield, not listed, we operate the system we do now, where you must request permission before you come. So if there's something people need to know, there's grass being mown, or there's a driver training thing, when they request permission, they're told, on this day, you can't come because there's driver training. And it's simple. It's simpler than it is now. It's a very simple system. We have a website. When we had a user group meeting about the airfield, one of the top things was create a website for the airfield, so we could promote it and inform people. The council didn't actually do that. I did that. I run the tokoroairfield.com website. I list what's going on. I provide a phone number that pilots can ring to get a weather report, which is my cell phone. I've installed free Wi-Fi at the airfield, so when pilots turn up, they can get the latest weather maps if they've got no data on their phone. Those sort of things. So we need to just take advantage of this.
So, if I get this right, so if I go over to the warehouse and I buy myself a $50 drone,
Okay.
and I go into a local park,
Yeah.
I can't fly it at the moment.
Under the council's policy, CAA requires, they introduced new regulations in 2015 which said you may not fly a drone or model aircraft over a property without the owner's consent.
Okay.
Now previously you could, because just as the council can't stop people from flying full-size aircraft anywhere, they couldn't stop people from flying models. But the new drone regulations say you must have the property owner's permission. If the property owner gives permission, such as if the council says yes, you can fly in Strathmore Park, then it's completely legal under CAA regulations, because there are trees. You're below the level of the trees, it's a shielded operation, it's completely 100% legal. For example, in Rotorua, they have a heliport in the middle of town. You can still fly in the parks, because the parks operate as a shielded operation. There's not, as I've handed out literature this morning, there has not been one complaint, there has not been one injury as a result of flying drones in Rotorua. Same goes with Tauranga. And yes, but at the moment, the council's decision to allow means it's against civil aviation regulations. If the council says yes, you can fly the parks, it's no longer against the regulations.
Thank you.
It was a long answer to your accreditation. I appreciate the detail. So if an American turned up here to fly, owning a drone in the States, would they be accredited in the States? Would they have to be accredited in the States?
No. In the States, they register. It's a simple registration process in the States.
So really what you're saying is that anyone should be able to turn up at the airport and fly a drone?
Anyone turns up and flies a drone. Of course, what we do, safety is a priority. We, first of all, take a test flight so we know that they're able to fly safely. And we have a list of rules and regulations that they have to follow the rules.
So if I could ask, obviously we require people that drive to be licensed and so on. Obviously more cars in a confined space, the more likelihood there is of accidents. Yeah, we've had situations at the airport where you as an experienced pilot have managed to fly a plane into a control tower. What would happen with all these people that don't have experience flying drones and flying in a confined space? And I guess my next question, if I may, so the second one is, we have proposed other areas where council believes we could actually go and allow drones to fly quite comfortably, like Arapuni and the Village Green. So are they not options for you?
They're not options because the reason people want to come to our airfield is because I'm there, I have promoted it to the world. The latest count of my videos, just under 90 million views worldwide. I have 250,000 subscribers. My videos are seen 1.5 million times every month. And it's all happening at Tokoroa Airfield. That's where people want to come. That's why they want to come here and not to some other place. Because of me, I admit it's the draw code. Take advantage of me. I mean, for goodness sake, I can promote this district 1.5 million times a month to the world. And I mean, hey, I've offered this before. I'm happy to make videos promoting the down to if you're coming to Tokoroa to fly on state, come and look at the river trails, or come and do this. I'm happy to do that, but so far it's been declined for whatever reason. So yeah, I mean, and as for the expertise, well, people can fly. People who come to the airfield to fly drones will of course be vetted to make sure they can do that. These are my models they're going to be flying. I'm not going to let anybody fly them. They'll have to prove that they can fly them. And these people are responsible people.
So only people that fly your drones are going to use the airport and the new model?
The only reason that is because people come from overseas find it impractical to bring a drone quite often with them. And one of the lures of coming to Tokoroa to fly in New Zealand is you come here, grab a model off the bench and go fly it as long as you can prove you can fly it properly.
So again, sorry, the model. Yeah, so the model is that we only have international people using it. Our locals who own a drone can't go down and fly at the airport.
Yeah, they can still do that. If they come out to the airport, we can do the same thing. The one thing is, I approached CAA a couple of weeks ago and suggested to them that I would like to do some drone safety courses here, because if you walk into Null Landings right now, all you see is drones. They're flogging the hell out of them. So people are going to buy these drones. Now, we can either let them go out and do things crazy, no instruction, no experience, no knowledge, and cause problems, or we can say, come to our free drone introductory course. We'll show you how to use it safely. We'll tell you about the rules and regulations. The problem is that in this town, there is nowhere I can legally do that.
So sorry, yeah, if I may. Do you currently have your witnesses?
Yes.
You've got your witnesses. Because they were, you did lose them for a period.
That was, interestingly enough, I know there's a lot of myth and things like this. That was, believe it or not, it was a personality issue. Can you believe that? Someone didn't like me. I had trouble understanding myself. But the then president of Model Flying New Zealand took a dislike to me and caused all sorts of problems. It's a new president of Model Flying New Zealand, and he comes down regularly and chats with me. He asks my advice. I'm working with him at the moment to do new definitions for the regulations for CAA.